Hello, my name is Laura Dorfman. I'm a member of the Community Preservation Committee. I'm here to introduce Article FY 22-06 for the resurfacing of the synthetic track at DeFazio Field. I would like to introduce Ed Olson, Superintendent of Parks and Forestry, to make a presentation.
Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. Thank you for that warm welcome, and thank you all for watching this video. As mentioned, I'm Edward Olson, Superintendent of Parks and Forestry for the town of Needham, and I'm here today to speak to Article 28, appropriate for resurfacing the synthetic track at DeFazio Park. This article will see if the town will vote to raise and/or transfer and appropriate $166,000 for the resurfacing of the synthetic track at DeFazio Park, to be spent under the direction of the town manager, and to meet this appropriation that said funds be transferred from the CPA 2021 General Reserve or take any other action relative thereto. With that said, I'm going to let Laura bring up a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation that we've shared with numerous boards and committees in town concerning this capital project.
Okay,
Thank you, Laura.
I am trying to share the screen right now.
Take your time.
Do you see that?
Right. I do. Thank you very much for that. So I always try to start with the where and the why and the when. So we're talking about the DeFazio Field running track. In the slide before us, we see the track in the center of the DeFazio complex. And with that said, I will ask to go to the next slide, please. Again, this is a track resurfacing request. The track that we have at DeFazio presently is over 12 years old. It is a Bijan 1000 type track, synthetic track. And with that said, next slide, please. The reason why we're requesting funds is this track, again, is over 12 years old. It was built as part of the Field of Dreams project, and it is showing signs of age and wear patterns. So with that said, we are here today to discuss the resurfacing of this track midway through its life cycle so that we can protect this capital investment for the next 12 to 13 more years. Next slide, please. So we've discussed the where and the why. The why, again, is this track is showing signs of wear. Again, that's normal. As we brought in Cape and Island Tennis, it's the company that built this track over a dozen years ago for the community. We have brought them in twice over the past couple of years to assess the track and give recommendations. And really what the assessment brought out was that the track is in good shape, given the age. However, it is showing signs of wear, and we'll see that in photos to come. Which is typical. Again, some of the wear is delamination of the surface. This is a rubberized track. So again, it's not asphalt. This is asphalt and then rubber that is sprayed on top of the asphalt that consists of the track that we step on. Many areas are starting to show delamination, and even crack seals are starting to show throughout the track itself. So with the site visit from Cape and Island, we got a report and we have recommendations, hence the reason why we're here today for the implication of that report, which is basically the funding request before us today. With that slide, we'll look at some of the current photos, which I took just in the last couple of weeks, and I'll describe what we're seeing. As I described, this is a synthetic rubberized sprayed on track that's over 12 years old. In the middle of the photo in front of us, you can see the rubber kind of falling apart. It becomes pitted, and then eventually it becomes, it delaminates, as I mentioned before. Next slide, please. All right, so again, it's starting to show significant signs of wear. You can see in the starting blocks, there's a close-up and then a panoramic view of what happens, but essentially the rubber falls apart to the point where it delaminates and starts pitting. Now is the time to do this work. Again, we're mid-cycle of the life cycle of this type of track, which is going to last 25 years. We're at 12 and a half years in. Now is the time that the track is professionally cleaned. It's filled in wherever the pits are. And then again, multiple courses of rubberized spray coat goes down to reformulate the top coat here. And then of course the lines and all the accoutrements are painted in at the end of this project. Next slide, please. Usage patterns showing. So if we go to the next slide, I wanted to kind of show everybody what we're talking about. I like this picture because it shows the sunlight on the usage patterns. You can see on the inside lanes on the turn here, you can really see the wear. The wear is shown by the shine on it right there. As you get out in the second lane, a little bit less, third lane, a little bit less, fourth lane. Why? Well, you can see why. People there on the track in the background tend to prefer to walk in the inner lanes. That's why you see that considerable wear dissipate as you get out to the outer lanes. But really, this slide depicts what is happening. The rubber is coming off, and if it comes off to the point of delamination, it presents a safety, a critical trip hazard. So we're trying to stay ahead of this. Again, the track is in good shape. It has been maintained well over the past dozen years, but this is typical for these type of systems. Mid-cycle, go in, clean it, and re-laminate, resurface with a structural surface spray application to basically protect that top coat and get the full life expectancy out of this beautiful capital asset. I'm not sure if I have any other photos, but essentially that is this project, Laura, as we've presented many times. And as we present to town meeting, we look forward to your approval in support of this capital funding request at town meeting next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed.
You're welcome, Laura. Thank you.